What's happening, guys? I received a question on my previous video about how to access Flow for coders. Okay, let's get it.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there, guys. How's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. How can you access the flow state if you're a coder? Before anything else, I just want to point out to you in this question that you asked me, you said coding students. Okay? Don't think of yourself as a student. Think of yourself as a coder. Merge your identity with it, because that's going to be something important moving forward. I know we get into egolessness or selflessness as you get into the flow state, but it's just important that you stop looking at it like I'm a student of code and I'm learning the art form. More so, I'm the artist. I'm the coder, you see? There's a mindset switch there. So that's the first thing I would say. A great question. So first and foremost, I've coached a lot of different coders before in my past. And usually the process would be to get them to their why. Why are they coding in the first place? What does it mean to them? It's got to have some sense of meaning or motivation or drive there for you, okay? You're going to have to build a storyline, your life storyline, based on you as the coder in your own life. And you have to really feel that before anything else. The next thing that I would tell you is definitely plan breaks, okay? Plan lots of breaks throughout your coding times. Because the thing is, you might be coding from morning to night, and it does get very lonely. It does get very captive, right? You're in one place and you're coding. So get up, go for a walk, you know. If you can bring the gym to your area, that'd be great as well. Have multiple monitors. The more resources you can get that make your life easier to code, invest in those things, okay? Invest in the things that will make it easier for your productivity. Don't invest in things that are gonna be fleeting and then just, keeping you in a burnout loop or like feeling frustrated at random moments, okay? You wanna prime your environment, right? Really prime your environment. You can play some classical music right before you're about to code so your mind is in a sharp place. You can meditate right before you code as well. This is what I would do if I was a coder. I would put on my headset. I would first prime my mind with some gamma waves and some funk music, P-H-O-N-K, okay? And as I'm playing that, I would just get into that state of just opening up my entire body, right? Getting ready, stretching. And then I'm in. I just clap my hands and I'm going. I'm gone. I'm in that world now. I've tapped into that dimension of code. There's nothing stopping me. There's nothing breaking. A knock on the door, something happens, buzzing from my phone. No, I've set reminders already to people telling me don't disturb me. Don't, I'm at a meeting. I'm working on a project. Let me get back to you later. I have those ready to go. Okay? So I'm not expecting a call at that time. I've actually silenced all my calls. That's the thing, man. Once you're truly invested, you understand you live in a generation where everything is so saturated and overstimulated that basically anything can break your attention. Right? You don't even have to be ADHD. It's like the culture makes you that. This is what I'm talking about, man. You're going to have to take extra responsibility to make sure you tap in. Highly, highly recommend that you do some visualization, okay? Just look at yourself in your current state. And once I say flow, I want you to imagine the most enhanced flow state for yourself as a coder. So you're just coding super fast. Just look at your mind sitting down and actually doing it. Ready to visualize? Let's go. So when I say flow, you imagine that and then take it back to the older scene of you currently now coding. Visualize you currently now coding. Good. Flow. 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 flow, 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 and flow. Okay? So that scene would have been weaving in and out, right? Expanding into that scene where you're coding really in your peak performance, and then going back to the scene of you coding right now. Maybe you're making some mistakes and errors, right? Whatever it is, your current state as a coder right now. Maybe you're already really good. You want to take it to the next level. You can do that too with this visualization, right? So I would do this visualization for 5 minutes a day, man, because at least you want to get the momentum of you actually imagining like it is possible in your mind, okay? I was looking at the Hawkins scale of consciousness the other day. I was reading Power versus Force, right? And I was looking at how courage is associated with affirmation, okay? And right above that would be truth. See, a lot of us, we don't have truth behind our affirmations. If you say affirmations like I'm the best coder on the planet and you don't believe it, it's not gonna work for you. But if you say to yourself every day in every way, I notice my coding skills get better and better. What about that? Does that feel more real to you? The more I love and trust myself, my coding becomes easier for me. I see life as code, and I choose to reinvent myself each and every millisecond. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. You know, come up with like cool ones that resonate with you, you know, that feel real. There's a big male burden for performance, right? Not just with coding, with anything that we do as men. There's this huge pressure to perform all the time. We live in a results-based culture, okay? This is why I introduced mindful peak performance. You want to focus on your breathing. You want to focus on being more conscious. You don't want to just be so in your sensations as a coder, okay? If you're a coder and you're watching a bunch of shows as you're coding, and then you're watching porn, and then you're going back to coding, and then you're doing something else to stimulate your brain, and then going back to coding, and then you're just all up in here. You realize that as a coder, you're all up in here in this mental world. Your mental body's being put through hell right now. Your spiritual body is that expansive? Is your physical body expansive, right? You got to focus on all 5 bodies. So are you getting the exercise that you need as a coder, right? That's why I'm saying bring the dojo to where you work, if you can, if that's a possibility, okay? If not, you can just buy one dumbbell or a kettlebell or something like that, carry it around, right? It's easy. You just need like one thing, a resistance band, right? Calisthenics you can do anywhere. And so it's like, you really have to maintain that because you want to get more embodied, okay? You really, really want to get more embodied so that you can maintain those long hours of coding. You will need to generate patience and focus, right? During those times. So get out in nature if you can. Okay, ground your feet, walk on the sand. Okay, walk on the grass. This kind of stuff really will help you be more creative. Code something you want to share with others. Keep coding fun and light. Okay? Be available to your code. Okay, that sounds metaphorical. But it means don't just block off opportunities to edit chunks of code when you see it clearly right in front of you. Coding can get very addictive, right? You can get on a pathway of coding because you're learning so many new things. And it's happening so fast. You really understand programming, okay? But you know if one little set of the code is wrong, it crushes the entire system. You want to have really good state control, man. And the way you do this is when your emotions start to rise or something starts to distract you, you have a natural flow state mechanism where you bring it back to your center and you get calm again in those moments where you get distracted. So this could be an anchor, a clap of the hands, a pat on the back, something like this. You need a physical reminder that you're here right now. Give yourself the time and lose yourself to the code, honestly. Just surrender to the numbers, man. Embrace the sheer joy of making things and solving problems. right? Creatively solving problems, looking at things in new ways and new perspectives. Practice doing that. Remember, coding is a language, okay? It's a language, so if you can speak that language, just get fluent at that language. Also, if you're a coder, you gotta be learning coding from somewhere. I don't know where, right? You just gotta be learning it from a really good mentor who knows it, who's fluent in that language. Removing the goal removes the pressure. Remember this. A lot of people will tell you to go after your goals and think about your goals, but I'm getting you to think from your goals. Your goals are already accomplished. You already have the most epic code. Now reverse engineer it. Shift your awareness from doing to being. Instead of doing the tasks on the computer, you're being the coder. You're being the programmer. I'll give you another example. Let's say in sex. If the goal is the orgasm, you might come too quickly. You might get the pressure of that, like, oh, I have to perform, I have to make sure that, I'm the best that she's ever had. All this kind of expectation, right? You set up all this expectation in your mind. You're looking at what lies ahead rather than what's going on in the moment. If you change your ideas around coding, you'll change your body in regards to coding. You want to get mechanical about this, man. You want to be the best version of you, right? So think about it. What does someone who sits for long periods of time, what kind of muscles do they need to work on? They need strong calf muscles, lower body work, right? Core, a tight core so they can keep their, back straight. You probably get a lot of neck pains, bro, right? Probably get a lot of neck pains. Got to make sure you look after that neck, do some yoga, do some specific neck yoga. Okay, do some bioenergetics. This kind of stuff is important for you, man. Yes, you can get autotelic and code for the sake of coding, for the love of it. But you can also create a very important structure, flow state lifestyle around your coding. Okay? This is what we're looking for. This is what I teach on this channel. This is what I do as a coach. Thank you for watching, man. I have many more techniques. I'll be sharing it. Keep watching. Hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. Hope you guys are enjoying these little YouTube shorts too. Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, let's go.